On this edition of Maury County Now, the Columbia Fire Department wants you to be safe during Fire Prevention Month. DocAir gives you a few tips on home energy efficiency. Adam Southern gives us some spooky history on the Maury County Library. And finally, an exclusive interview with Columbia's brand new Assistant City Manager, Thad Jablonski. All this and more on this edition of Maury County Now. Hello and welcome to Maury County Now, Columbia and Maury County's magazine news show covering all of Maury County. Practicing fire prevention can keep you and your loved ones safe if a fire breaks out. Maury County Now caught up with Chad Helton, Public Education Officer for the Columbia Fire Department, to learn more about fire safety.
Hello, I'm Chad Helton, Captain and Public Education Officer with Columbia Fire Department. I'd like to talk to you about our fire prevention program we have with the City of Columbia. During the month of October, we emphasize public education during Fire Prevention Week and carry that on through the entire month. Fire Prevention Week was started to commemorate the Great Chicago Fire, which happened in 1871, which killed 250 people, left over 100,000 people homeless, and destroyed over 1,740 structures, and burned over 2,000 acres of land. During this week and through the entire month, we like to emphasize public education to our young and our old alike. Half of home fire deaths result from fires being reported from 11 p.m. and 11 a.m. when most people are asleep. Only 1 in 5 home fires were reported during these hours. Smoking materials are the leading cause of home fire deaths. 3 out of 5 home fire deaths in 2007 to 2011 were caused by fires in homes with no smoke alarms or no working smoke alarms. When smoke alarms fail to operate, it is usually because batteries are missing, disconnected, or dead. Fire safety and keeping you safe is our #1 goal at the Columbia Fire Department. To schedule a public education event, call us at 931-560-1700 or email me chelton@columbiatn.com.
The type of air in your home can vary due to a number of factors, and DocAir is here to tell you why. We spoke to Barry Westbrook, president of DocAir, about how energy efficiency and air quality can go hand in hand.
Hi, I'm Barry Westbrook with DocAir. I'm here at this residence and we've been doing some testing. What we're trying to do here is to establish how much energy is being wasted and also how we can improve the quality of the indoor air. We had 3 different devices that we used. One was a blower door, and there's some film footage of that later on. We also had a thermal imaging camera, and one of the ones that we like to use most often, it's very easy to use but very powerful, is visible smoke. And we can use that visible smoke to essentially determine where the leaks are and how big the leaks are. Well, we do 2 things. With existing buildings, we go in and try to make buildings work better. We say we cure sick buildings. But it's not just sick buildings, it's also making buildings more energy efficient. So if you've got a home where you have 30% duct leakage and you've got the leaks like we saw in the pull-down attic access door, it's really impossible to have an efficient building or a comfortable building. So what we do is we go in and find those leaks, and we go back behind after the analysis is done, and we fix them. We seal up the leaks in the attic access door, the ducts, and that kind of thing. We saw the use of a blower door. That blower door can either blow air into the house or it can suck air out of the house. We had it set up to be in the suction mode, and so when we've got it set up that way, whenever we go to some place on the exterior of the building, air is trying to come in to relieve that suction. So if you'll remember, we looked at the attic access door and we saw these real hot spots around the edges of the door. That tells us that hot air in the attic is basically being sucked in through those cracks. And that's air we don't want to be pulling in that we're going to have to basically cool back down again. Well, we have a website, docair.com. We have a telephone number that you can call in Williamson County. It's 615-373-2498. You call us anytime. We have who we call the air traffic controller that'll take your call and schedule a time. We come out and meet with the homeowner or the building owner, and we do our analysis, and then from there we put together a proposal for the things that we can do to make the building work better. Right now, if you call our office, we'll come out and do the diagnosis for free. So you really have nothing to lose. The other thing that's kind of nice is that the Tennessee Valley Authority has some rebates. Essentially, they will pay you to implement some of these things. So not only are you going to save money on your monthly utility bills and have a healthier and a more comfortable building, but the TVA will actually pay you to implement some of those improvements.
We'll be back with more Maury County Now after this.
Hi there, I'm Sparky the Fire Dog, and I'm here today to help you get to know smoke alarms. Smoke alarms save lives. If there's a fire in your home, smoke spreads fast, and you need smoke alarms to give you time to get out. Make sure that you hear the beep where you sleep. Install smoke alarms in every bedroom, outside each sleeping area, and on every level of your home. Test your smoke alarm every month, and replace all smoke alarms in your home every 10 years. When a smoke alarm sounds, get outside and stay outside. Remember, hear the beep where you sleep and follow these smoke alarm guidelines to keep your home and family safe.
And now, back to more Maury County Now.
Ghostbusters fans know that even death couldn't put down a good book. We conjured up a story from Adam Southern about the Maury County Library that'll give you the heebie-jeebies on this edition of Historic Maury County.
Hello, I'm Adam Southern, and this is a spooky edition of Historic Maury County. Now, Halloween's coming, so I hope you're ready to hear some ghost stories. And I've got a good one for you today, and it takes place right here in the Maury County Library. You don't think of newer buildings as being haunted, but this one is. The reason is that there is no such thing as new Earth. The Earth has a story that predates any structure that we build on it. And this library was built in 1968, but before this building was here, there were two old homes on the site, and one of those belonged to a Mrs. Nichols. Mrs. Nichols lived in this home until she died. They even had her funeral here in this house. And several years later after her death, they come along, tear down her house, and they put a library there. All's well and fine, except people are still seeing Mrs. Nichols wandering through the stacks. It even happened to me the first year I worked here. I was in the very back of the library putting up some books, and a lady walked past me. Now it was close to 8 o'clock, our closing time, so I turned the corner, was going to tell the lady to make her selections and check out. She wasn't there. So it kind of shocked me, and I ran up to the desk and asked the lady working with me, "Hey, did you see the lady in the white dress walk out?" She said she hadn't seen a lady in a white dress walk in or out. So the shock went on. Now, I didn't think much about it until the next year when it happened again. And it happened about the same time. It was in November of the year. And that's when I got curious and did some research like the good librarian, and found out about the two homes that used to be here, and found out about Mrs. Nichols. And she died in November of 1951. Now, putting two and two together, it kind of makes sense. And we called in some ghost hunters to come in and investigate the library. And while they were here, they said there were a couple of different spirits that we should be aware of here. And I thought more than one. They said Mrs. Nichols was kind of a residual spirit. A residual spirit is something that can't interact with the living. It's just here for a flash and then it's gone. The spirit thinks they're still in their home, and she's walking through it as if she's still living. She can't interact with us, we can't interact with her. She appears and gone, over with. But they said there's another spirit here that is an intelligent spirit. And that's the kind of spirit that can interact with you, can talk to you, can do things, move things rather. And they said that they caught this spirit saying something in the library. So when the ghost hunters were here, I had to take them through the building. And when we came to my desk, I said, "Here's my desk." And a voice came on immediately after mine and said, "No, it's my desk." so I don't come in here very often at night by myself anymore. And it appears that a former librarian from many years ago is still holding on to her spot there at the desk. So we're glad to have her here still on staff. And I hope you'll come by the library and come see if you can find any ghosts on your own. And if you would like to hear more ghost stories, come see me on the Columbia Ghost Tour. It's every Friday and Saturday night in October at 8 o'clock. We meet at the courthouse in Columbia. Come see me.
The City of Columbia has a brand new Assistant City Manager, and Thad Jablonski is learning the ropes. We spoke with Thad about his take on the City of Columbia.
Hi, I'm Thad Jablonski. It's great to be here in Columbia. This is my first day on the job as Assistant City Manager. It's great to be here in Columbia. My family and I are grateful to be here. We came from East Ridge, Tennessee, where I was the City Treasurer and Deputy City Manager. So look forward to working with Columbia to work on the strategic plan and several other big projects that the City Council's given to the city staff. Why Columbia? A couple years ago, me and a good friend of mine, also in municipal government, we had a discussion, rank your 3 best cities in Tennessee. And you know, one small and large, and I don't know if that's fair because you have small, medium, and large cities, but small and large, history. So those are your 3 categories. Well, I put Columbia twice. You know, small town, but even though Columbia is a medium-sized city, but a small town, and then history. That again, I think history and sense of place has as much to do with quality of life as sidewalks and underground utilities. I think having that story and that narrative to tell is just something that everybody can relate to, and it's something that brings people together. It's something you can, when you're talking to developers, it's you've got a story to tell, and you know, Columbia's got a great story to tell, and I'm just excited to be a part of that and to help tell that story. Well, I have a background that's quite varied, obviously in municipal finance, so I understand the nuts and bolts of how to finance municipal government, and going all the way back to grad school, kind of dust off my early training is in planning and development. So I got to put that to good work in Lakeland, Tennessee, where I was the executive coordinator, effectively assisted the city manager on a range of development projects, and from that to budget development. And then when I got to East Ridge, Tennessee, as deputy city manager and city treasurer, again did a lot of economic development work and implementing strategic planning projects in both cities. It's going to assist me a lot in implementing the strategic plan that the city council's worked on here in Columbia. It's an exciting and aggressive plan, and very progressive. So I'm really excited to work on that. I think retail development is a challenge for everybody right now. Again, a lot of opportunities. I think, if I recall, I just saw some sales tax figures, and we're going to have the best year, first 3 months that we've had in the last 10 years. So, again, you know, a lot of challenges there because we're competing with a lot of neighbors, but at the same time, you know, we have a lot of opportunities. So it's a mixed bag, but I think we'll do great.
To find out more information on any of the stories you've seen on this edition of Maury County Now, check out our website, maurycountynow.com, and look in the show notes for more details. Maury County Now is produced by Columbia TNTV. Thanks for watching Maury County Now, and we'll see you next time.